Hello and welcome back and enjoy a time lapse. So that didn't really take too long. It was about half hour just clearing out this entire swamp area. I haven't gone for the biggest swamp in the world. Now I know I said I was just going to do this whole thing as a time lapse, but I thought it might be a bit weird if someone just comes along and watches this one video and yeah, there's no explanation going on. It's just a straight build. So what we're doing is working on a build that I'm calling Blackrock Manor. We're going to be using a lot of the new blocks and some of my newer made textures to build up a Victorian-esque manor. It's going to go up on this area here. So we've got some land conditioning that we need to do. I've just gone around, as you've seen, and cleared out all of the trees. We're still waiting for some of the leaves to sort of dissipate. I don't think I've ever actually seen a swamp with no trees without it being completely blown up. So yeah, this actually looks pretty cool. But yeah, we're going to be doing quite a bit of land conditioning here. This is going to look very different in the end to the way it is at the moment. Basically, we're going for a bit of a dark horror theme. Now, I don't think that over the course of these episodes we're going to complete absolutely everything, but essentially I'm going to be working towards something that it's going to be a slow back burner in the background, and it's going to be completely ready for Halloween this year, and yeah, we're going to do something cool with it, but that's obviously quite a bit further down the line. So we've got a load of space to play with. It's not too big. I specifically chose this swamp. I went around and looked at loads of different swamps on this seed, and I thought this was pretty much the right size. So this first manor that I'm going to build is going to be massive. It's going to cover this entire area. I actually need to check the size. I've already built this in creative mode, and I was just so happy with it that I really wanted it in the world. So that is basically the story behind this. So I'm not going to do a time lapse of this, but I am now going to essentially get the size right for the top of this hill and for where we're going to be placing the build. We're going to be sort of around the edges. Some of it's going to have like mountainscapes and that, and some of it's just going to be really dense woodlands just to break this area off from all of these bright colours over here. And it should all wind up coming out pretty cool. Anyway, the sun is now going down. So I'm going to do a bunch of work, get this conditioned. We'll jump back in real quick and I can show you some of the block palette that I'm going to be using. I've got a little bit of collecting to do as well, so it's actually probably going to be quite a while until we next jump in, but that is all cool. So I'm going to get the land conditioned, I'm going to get my block palette together, and then we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to do a time lapse of... I don't know whether I'm going to do the whole build. I might do. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. Okay, so this is going to finish off this first flatland that I'm sorting out. It's a pretty large area. So I worked out I basically needed a 50 by 50 space thereabouts, which is actually a hell of a lot bigger than what I was expecting it to be. For some reason I thought I built it a little bit smaller, but this should about cover the space for the main build, which means I'm definitely going to be expanding the grassland into the water there. One thing I am going to be doing is actually removing most of this water, and we're going to be replacing it with the glass fog effect, so there is going to be a hell of a lot more land everywhere anyway, and glass fog sort of breaking through at certain points. Right, that is my last firework, so I am not going to try and spam around because it's not going to work. So, we have a bunch of things that we need to collect. We need Blackrock, we need Netherrack bricks, we need a load of dark oak, but I'm pretty certain I've still got a load of dark oak anyway, and yeah, just a few other sort of like little bits and bobs, some like glass and just general bits. So I'm going to get everything together, and then we can come in and actually start building this. I'm probably going to lay out like the base plan on the floor, and we can sort of talk about that, I guess, when I come back. Just as a side note, this is pretty much it for what I've got dirt and grass. I'm going to have to do a mass grass digging session because this is going to take a very, very long time to fill, and we're going to need a hell of a lot of grass because I like to make my own terrains because I'm a little bit crazy. Anyway, I'm going to gather up my bits and we'll take a look at the block palette and the sort of general floor layout of this build in a sec. So I think I've got everything I need now. So we've just got trapdoors because, you know, I love to use trapdoors. That's actually an empty shulker box. Yeah, we got nether bricks, just regular nether bricks. I don't know whether I want to use red ones though, so I might actually be going back to collect more nether warts and stuff like that. Got end stone because we're going to be crafting end bricks. I have a pretty cool texture for end bricks. If I can remember how to actually craft these, yep, easily enough. So yeah, we got a pretty cool like brick texture going on with that, so I think that looks really cool. We've got all of the crimson stems and stuff like that just in case we decide to use it, basically. Because I did make a new crimson stem texture actually. Not like this, so like this is still just bog standard because I really like that block. But I've changed the stripped variant of it, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way that that one looks. But I'm really happy with the way that that one looks. There's some sort of like little connection issues. Like here, I probably need to make... Yeah, that was always going to work out like that. Yeah, I probably need to make this bit like just a little bit darker so it blends in with the bottom there properly. But we'll do that at some point. We got spruce log because we're going to use a bit of spruce. Blocks of iron to make chains. And grey stained glass. And then this is the stuff that we want. Blackstone. So we're going to be using each variant of Blackstone. And yeah, it's very, 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 very dark. So it should wind up looking really cool though, especially going for a horror theme. And then we've just got some stone just because stone's always handy to have. So yeah, that about sums up our entire block palette. Let's just leave that there for a minute. On the floor here, I've got the generic shape of the structure, I guess. This is like the outer edge of it, so yeah, as you can see, it is a pretty big build. And I'm wondering whether I've got the orientation right. But I think so. Yeah, I think this is the right way to do it. So, you know, it's going to have a massive tower coming out of the middle. And yeah, it's just going to look really cool. To be fair, I don't think I should really talk much about this. What I should do is jump into time-lapse mode. So this is what we've got so far. It's a pretty big build. I've still got quite a bit of work to do. Now, the reason I'm jumping in is basically just to say I'm going to stop the time lapses here because the roof I've created for this is actually ridiculously complicated. And yeah, I'm basically having to reference the original design quite a bit to get the roof on. So basically I'm just stopping and starting all the time, so I don't really think that's going to make for the best time lapse. So yeah, I am going to go through. I'll get the rest of the sort of like windows in place and that. But yeah, I'm basically going to go through and get all of the roof done. Basically finish this off. It's probably going to take quite a while because, as I say, the roof is actually fairly complicated. But yeah, I really love this design, and I will catch you guys in just a moment when we've got the rest of it put together. And that is the roof complete now. So yeah, pretty much the exterior, well not the exterior, the skeleton I suppose of the house is now completely done. Let's see if we can get a decent look. I pretty much used all of the blackstone that I gathered, so that's like an entire shulker box's worth here. Still got loads of end stone and dark oak and all of that sort of stuff. So I'm definitely going to have to go off and collect a load more of the blackstone. But yeah, I really love this build, and I hope you guys enjoy the way it looks as well. I would say I'll do a tutorial on this, but I'm just not going to. The roof is just so complicated. We got some chains hanging around, and there's some netherrack fences coming up along there, just add a little bit more shape to the tower and that. And then these are just the dark oak trapdoors just coming along the edge, again just add a little bit more interest. But yeah, you can see what I mean with these roofs, like it sort of goes off at different angles. Yeah, a little bit all over the place, but I think all in all it winds up having such an awesome little effect. Right, so this build is obviously completely hollow on the inside, and I'm not going to be doing that today. That is something that's going to come in the future, in one of the next coming episodes. Either that or I'm going to work on it whilst I'm doing some of the other bits as well, because in fact that might be the best idea, because that way I can just sort of put it in the background, get an interior done, and then just show you guys at the end. So we need to get like a garden area for this. I want it to be really run down. That's the main theme. We are going for quite a dark and evil look. See, let me land on a tree over here. I might be able to just get the whole thing in the picture. Damn, it's actually really big. But yeah, we need to get like a garden. We need to get some grounds, I suppose. Maybe wall it off and have it so that this manor's got some of its own grounds. And then, yeah, we just have to do a hell of a lot of work transforming this actual swamp biome, which is probably going to take quite some time. At any rate, I have spent a lot of time working on this today, and I'm pretty much completely out of time, so I am going to be ending off here. Hope you've enjoyed the time lapses, and I hope you enjoyed the build, and I'll catch you in the next one.